Last moment, it had seemed to be doomed. But at the 11th hour, all was settled and 117 starters from 7 points in Europe converged on Saint-Étienne for the start of the 53rd Monte Carlo Rally. By the end of the second day, here at Saint-Pierre-de-Chartreuse, Walter Röhrl's tenaciously held early lead in the Audi Quattro Sport has been systematically whittled away, and the new pacesetter is once again the four-wheel drive Peugeot 205 Turbo of REC Rally winners Ari Vatanen and Irishman Terry Harriman. After some splendid driving on dry asphalt, Henry Toivonen two-wheel drive Lancia is at an obvious disadvantage on this fresh snow. And his teammate Vicky Biasio has a similar problem and is being rapidly overhauled by the world champion Stig Blomqvist in another Audi Quattro. Making his debut with Peugeot, Timo Salonen's cautious start has been underlined by a wrong choice of tyres. And he's down in 6th place, just ahead of Dani Snowbeck's Renault 5 Turbo and the remarkable Jean-Claude Androuet at the wheel of a four-wheel drive Citroën Visa. Another Peugeot debutant with a tyre choice problem is Bruno Savi, who's been off the road for 6 minutes, dropping down to 9th. After an overnight halt in Grenoble on Monday, the rally is set to turn south for the long trek through the Alps and down to Monte Carlo. Vatanen's Peugeot looks secure in a 2-minute lead and shows every sign of extending the advantage over Walter Röhrl, who despite a suspension change is unable to match the speed of the French car. Having overhauled Blomqvist the previous night, Salonen is now 3rd, but the Audi driver had been in trouble on the previous day with a turbocharger failure, and there is now only 16 seconds between them. Toivonen's 5th place Lancia is spectacularly fast when the roads are dry, but Savi's Peugeot is now only 1 place behind. As dawn breaks on Wednesday morning at Sisteron, a dramatic turn of events has brought the rally to life. As a result of a co-driving error, Vatanen's Peugeot has been penalized 8 minutes, and a seemingly impregnable lead has been handed to Walter Röhrl, who suddenly finding himself 4 minutes ahead of the Peugeot, is now trying desperately hard to consolidate his position. Determined Röhrl's masterful handling of the Audi makes a spectacular sight, but coolly composed Vatanen is equally determined to regain his lead and is about to embark on one of the most remarkable fightbacks in the history of modern rallying. The diminutive Peugeot is now in hot pursuit. By comparison, his Peugeot teammate Salonen, in a secure 3rd place, looks positively sedate. Eschewing the widely practiced rally technique of negotiating a hairpin, he even has time to indulge in the more traditional 3-point turn. Never entirely at home on the asphalt roads of the French Alps, Blomqvist nevertheless holds 4th place on only his 2nd appearance in the short wheelbase Quattro Sport. And there's obviously nothing wrong with his car control. Having lost a lot of time on snow and ice at the summits of the cols, Toivonen in the Lancia is doing his best to make up for it on the dry sections at lower altitudes. Frenchman Bruno Savi in the 3rd Works Peugeot has now hauled himself up to 6th, spurred on by partisan crowds at the roadside. practicing his three-point turns is Mickey Biassion in the second Lancia. By Wednesday evening, as the backmarkers arrive in the hills above the Principality of Monaco, only half the 117 starters are still in the rally. However, the event now is really only about 2 cars: Walter Röhrl's Audi Quattro Sport and Ari Vatanen's Peugeot 205 Turbo. And the Finn has already recouped 2 minutes of his 4-minute deficit.
Now, after the misfortune in Gap, when you suddenly found yourself behind, did you drive at 100% or more to catch up, or...
Well, there is not such a thing as an absolute limit, which is a solid one. I mean, the limit is flexible. You can stretch it if it needs to be stretched, and it's more psychological thing, really. And in any case, I didn't think about the Gap incident. I didn't think about what will happen at the end of the rally. I just concentrated on my driving, and that's what I'm going to do today as well. I just try to do my best, and that's all I can do.
Yesterday, it's quite easy that Ari is passing me, and I don't think it's something special. I try to go as fast as possible, but I'm sure these 2 minutes are not enough.
Are you resigned to the fact this new Peugeot, then, is just too fast for the Audi?
No, I only know that Ari is too fast for me.
The complete professional and diplomatic to a fault. Walter Röhrl nevertheless realizes that a defense of his rapidly diminishing lead is an almost hopeless task, and the Peugeot closes in remorselessly as the cars charge into the hills above Menton. And at 2 o'clock in the morning, amid much revelry and celebration on the Col de Turini, this astonishing comeback is complete. Once again, Ari Vatanen and the Peugeot team lead the Monte Carlo rally, and even the great Walter Röhrl is powerless to stop them. Sullivan's Peugeot goes through in 3rd place. And Röhrl's Audi teammate Blomqvist is 4th. Bruno Savi brings his Peugeot home 5th, and Toivonen spirited efforts bring a 6th place finish for Lancia, a factor which has not gone unnoticed by a large Italian contingent who have reserved a special welcome for their other young hero, Mickey Biassion, who's being held up by another Italian car, an Alfa Romeo driven by Bertrand Ballas. Down on the waterfront at Monte Carlo, the victory celebrations are in full swing. A final stage electrical failure on Röhrl's splendidly driven Audi has boosted Vatanen's victory margin to no less than 5 minutes and 17 seconds. And this despite an 8-minute penalty. Peugeot's total domination is as complete as Vatanen's satisfaction is obvious. The French team have now won their last 4 World Championship rallies in succession. Where will it all end?